Mark Sutton joins us now in an exclusive interview. Mark, thanks so much for joining us. But before I get to some of the more recent sort of cyclical-based questions, a long-term structural one, which is to say that the shift to e-commerce, has that been an enormous growth driver for you?
Good afternoon, Wilfred. Yes, it has. I mean, it's still a relatively small part of the overall corrugated packaging market, but it's growing double-digit percentages every year. So for us, it's somewhere between 5 and 10% of our total packaging business.
Mark, we used to look at international paper, and I know that we often still do, as sort of an economic indicator of what's going on with all of the shipping. Looking at all of the data that you see and the results that you've turned out, what's your assessment of both the global and the U.S. economy?
Hi, Courtney. I think the U.S. economy, the GDP number that just came out at about 1.9%, seems to be about what we see in our packaging business. Corrugated packaging tracks just below GDP, so our U.S. demand is still pretty strong. Globally, though, there's some choppy water. We export about 28% of what we make in the U.S. to Europe, Asia, and Latin America, almost in equal thirds to those three markets. And we've seen some demand declines and also some fallout from some of the tariff issues. So we're still navigating through that. We think there was some inventory builds last year in anticipation of all that uncertainty that played itself out through 2019.
As we think about all the packaging and we look at that as sort of a driver of economic growth, that can be a good thing. But then, of course, there's also a lot of waste. I know we've been talking about this a lot, especially in the world of retail and e-commerce. I mean, what's your view there on how you deal with that and square the two, from being a successful business, shipping more, but also dealing with the waste of the packaging?
It's a great question. I think when you look at our business model, our products start with renewable natural resources, which are trees and recovered fiber, trees grown for that purpose. When we make our products, we use the residuals and generate 70 to 80% of our own energy from carbon neutral biomass. And then many of our products at the end of their life, for example, the e-commerce type of product, the corrugated package, is actually recycled at about 92% back into the stream. So this is a pretty sustainable business model, and actually, compared to some of the alternatives, a very good way to move products and to enable commerce, renewability at the beginning and recyclability at the end.